Hello and good morning to everyone. There's Diwali coming up, and you know that there are a lot of festivities going on behind me. There's a lot of sound. People are playing music and drums and everything, so please bear with my audibility. I continue with the segment on past life regression therapy that I had been speaking about in my last three videos. And today I'm specifically going to talk about memories, okay, what memory is. So, I have already spoken that we as living beings carry the genetic material from our parents, and that is what gets passed on from one generation to the next, from their bodies to our bodies in the form of DNA. And DNA genes stores all the information of their bodies, their physical traits, even the kind of diseases that can get triggered. Okay, and even they have taken up memory from their parents, and they from their parents, and from ancestors to ancestors to ancestor. But where exactly is memory placed? You will see that even if I'm talking to a neurologist, they will not be able to tell me specifically where in the brain the memory is embedded. There is no specific place where the memory can get embedded. We may say that there are different kinds of memory. You see, if I am learning to ride a bicycle, and then I am riding the bicycle, but 5 years, 6 years down the line, I have not ridden the bicycle. And I have not been there in that scene. And now 5, 6 years down the line, I ride the bicycle again, and I'm able to ride. In biology and neurology, we will call it definitive memory, which is, of course, like long-term memory. It's been there with us in the brain. The region of the brain, hippocampus, is also responsible for that memory. But at the same point of time, you have to see that our human body is an ever-changing body. It changes all the time. You no longer look like the way you looked 10 years back. You no longer look when you were the way you were at 5. Some people say that you look like your mother, some people say you look like your father, but then that also changes with due course of time. Now again, we know that scientifically, every cell of your body changes and replaces itself. One of the fastest is RBC, red blood cells. It takes 120 days for a red blood cell to die and a new red blood cell to emerge and replace it. Similarly, skin cells take a lot of time to completely regrow, die and regrow. You know that there are dead skin cells in which go away from your skin when you scrub it, and then new cells appear, which means your body is a constantly changing body. It's a constantly changing system, and every cell in your body in a span of 7 years, 8 years is absolutely replaced by new cells. So now that the replacement happens, where does the memory go? Does the memory go? The memory doesn't go away, right? Because memory does not rest only in your cell. There is a kind of, or memory does not rest only in your brain. There is a kind of field which is called the morphogenic field, or the field of morphic resonance, that we all are vibrating in, and it is this field that carries the memory. Our cells store the impact, intensity, experience of the events that we have been through in our life, but the memory never goes away. Of course, the intensity goes away, the traumatic effects goes away, the PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder effects go away, the feelings of sadness, drowsiness, madness, anger, resentment, all of that goes away, but those are feelings and emotions associated with the memory. The memory does not go away. For example, if I ask you, what did you have yesterday night for dinner? You would be able to tell me, of course, right? But until I had asked this question, did you think about the answer? You did not. But when I asked you this question, you immediately went back there. It's like, until I have switched on the television has not come into light. The program has not appeared on television. But the moment I switch it on, the program comes up, right? So similarly, memory is also like that. It exists in a field. Some people also call it the Akashic field. So it is in this Akashic field that the memory is present. The morphogenic field, Akashic field, field of morphic resonance, whatever you call it, every living being on this planet has this field. Not just living, every being that is conscious in the universe. People even argue that the universe is not a conscious universe. It is not aware of itself, but universe is a conscious universe. You know, I was talking to this wonderful physicist friend of mine, and he gave me this, he's a physicist, and he gave me this wonderful argument where he said that you are made up of the same material as the universe is. You are made of the same stardust, same elements. There is hydrogen, there is carbon, there is oxygen, there is nitrogen. There is everything that is found in the universe in your body as well. And if you are a thinking being by nature, how can you argue that the universe is not a thinking universe? Because it's also made of the same thing. It is also vibrating at the same frequency. It is also moving the way you move. And that's why we talk about alignment to the universe. When you become aligned to the vibration, frequency and thoughts of the universe, that's where everything happens the way you want it to happen. Every desire of yours is automatically and immediately fulfilled, and there is no delay, and there is no procrastination, and there is no blockage, right? Of course, we have numerous methods in order to release the blocks which doesn't allow you to be in alignment with the universe. But that's not what we are talking about here. We are talking about memory here, right? So memory exists in this quantum field called the morphogenic field or field of morphic resonance or the Akashic field. And when we are regressing a person, which is we are taking them back in time, we are switching on that light, switching on that bulb till now which we had not switched on. We are switching on the television which we had not switched on till now, you know, and the program appears. So similarly, when we are regressing a person back to a different lifetime or to a different memory of which they have no recollection of till now or as of now, that's what we are doing. We are switching on and taking them back to that memory which is already present in the Akashic field or the morphogenic field, and that's how we are able to access the information in an experiential way in a past life regression therapy session. And that's what we do. A lot of people ask me that how do you access that memory? Does that memory even exist? Is it imagination? The point is, it is possible to go back to that memory if you know the right way to switch on the television or switch on the light. So that's what we do in regression therapy. We go back in time in order to discover that memory, because that memory will contain event. That event will contain experience. That experience will contain traumatic effects, or there will be certain belief systems, there will be certain postulates, there will be certain body impressions and charges. There will also be, of course, karma. I will, of course, talk about karma in my upcoming video, but that's the reason why we need to go back there, because we have been working on not only witnessing patterns but also breaking patterns. So in order to break the patterns, we have to go back to the origin of that pattern. In order to go back to the origin of that pattern, we will need the memory field where the pattern originated, and that's what we tap into. We go into that part of the memory field where it is there, we experience it, and we, through the process of catharsis in regression therapy, release it. And that's what is about memory for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. If you want to know more about regression therapy, about the courses that I conduct, please do ask me. Do not hesitate. Thank you so much for today.